College Park, Maryland, home of the Maryland Terrapins. Fans have been eager for this clash coming up in what some affectionately refer to as the Snake Pit. What an exciting matchup we have in store for you this afternoon, built around the pageantry, tradition, and everything that makes college football great. As we'll see a team from the American, the Florida Atlantic Owls. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. So the Florida Atlantic Owls offense will go on the attack first. As we take a quick look at the impact players for today's game, what players did you guys look to for motivation to make an impact during your playing days, Jesse?
Well, it was the guys we relied on each and every week. We came into the season expecting these types of guys to be our biggest weapons, and every week those were the guys that had to deliver for us in order to have success.
And it's just fun to have those guys that are consistent. Like, they lead by example. Then they start to learn their voice and lead the team. But every week, guys that you can count on. They punch the clock, and they're hard workers.
And the Owls with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Caught behind the line. It's Wilson. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
The Owls come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. Got it in the middle. It's Messer. Coming through that 3rd down conversion, and they'll mark it at the 43. Convert that 3rd down on the slant. Now everybody sort of settles into the game.
Yeah, you do have nerves. I mean, everybody does. Opening drive, you've watched film, and how good are they really? And you get that first down. You throw the quick timing slant. Now, everybody settle in. We're good. We got this.
Looking to throw on 1st down. With the catch, it's Wilson. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
And frankly, that's a completion. It's not going to make the end-of-season highlight reel, but in this game, it could lead to a highlight reel type play. The offensive coordinator may be setting something big up for later in the game.
Offense gets set for 2nd down. They just keep firing. Snagged in the middle. It's Messer. He's really close to that 1st down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
And the Owls line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. Creates a little space. Making a little bit of progress there. He gets it to the 40 before getting out of bounds.
It's a really good sign if you're on offense here. You're putting it on your offensive line on 3rd down. Critical down and distance, opening drive of the game. Let those guys fire off, get a hat on a hat. You can run the ball, pick up the first. You're around midfield. And all things looking pretty good here early for this offense.
Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. He'll take a shot. And he got a hand on it to knock it down in the end zone.
And that's just a huge missed opportunity on offense. QB missed his guy wide open in the end zone. You might not get another clean look like that in the rest of this game.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Fires to the middle. He's got it. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22.
I really like the slot receiver, and I understand he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he just runs really good routes, and he's always under control. He can run option routes. He can run double moves. He does a great job cutting, and he's dangerous after the catch. Nice weapon to have work in the middle of the field.
Grabbed in the backfield. It's Smith. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
This is a very tough slot receiver to cover if you're a linebacker because of how quick and how shifty he is. You never seem to know which way he's going, and he always seems to create an open space for his QB.
The Owls with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. They just blew through that offensive line. It's a 4-yard loss. just outside the red zone at the 21, but it's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Grabbed in the middle, it's Smith. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
4th and short? I already called my 3rd down play, knowing I was going for it on 4th down. So you better believe I got the play locked and loaded. We're going for it on 4th down.
So now on comes the field goal unit. He slides that just inside the right upright. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0.
I know one thing this head coach does every week is he challenges his guys to start fast. And it's so important today, playing on the road in this kind of environment. You saw a nice drive. They didn't get the touchdown they would have loved, but still, kicking that field goal and taking this early lead, that's a statement for the visiting team.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So the Maryland Terrapins offense will get the ball for the first time. And David, their quarterback hasn't always blown you away statistically, but he is a guy that the coaches trust.
Yeah, and he'll show you some flashes of why you should trust him, Reese. But here's the thing. This is not a guy that we're saying, go win me the football game. That's not where he's at right now in his career. Jesse, he's a guy that needs the others. They got to help him out. They got to play on schedule, not make those mistakes, and guys really play well around him.
Yeah, David, the one thing quarterbacks don't want to be referred to as is a game manager, but that's really more what this guy is. You're right. They have to be able to run the football. They can't turn it over. They got to play great defense. If they do that in this game, he's good enough to get this win.
Power football with the run. They stop him behind the line of scrimmage. He ran through one guy, but not through the rest. We've come to the end of the period, and Florida Atlantic has the lead. And we've come to the end of one, and let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. Martin will throw it. Finds his tight end. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
You know, tight ends are such matchup nightmares and problems for defense. They're too big for DBs to cover, and they're too fast for linebackers to cover. You saw it right there.
Ball is at the 41 as this defense tries to force the punt on 3rd and long. The snap sets up the throw. Trying to set up the screen. That's not quite going to be enough as they stop him 4 yards short of the marker.
Really good job by the defense, understanding 3rd down, the situation of the game. I play a little bit deeper, take away the sticks, react to shorter. I got to go get him on the ground now. Nice job making the tackle, but playing the down and distance first, and now forcing a 4th down.
Punt is on its way. And nobody able to handle that punt. They'll let it bounce and roll out of bounds. They'll christen this drive from the 28-yard line. Reads it, fires complete. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
Great job by the quarterback there. He saw the safety bite on the run fake. So as the safety comes running downhill, he now knows he has the slant throw to his receiver on the outside.
And the Owls can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Back to pass. Caught in the backfield, it's Smith. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
Man, this guy is so dynamic, and that's why you want to try to get him the ball as many ways as you can. That time it's a screen throw, and he had some nice blocks downfield, but with his speed and elusive running ability, this dude is dangerous.
The offense will put it in play from the 47 on 1st and 10. They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. That's caught. It's Wilson. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
It is so good for an offense early in the game to get in a rhythm and to start stringing first downs together. It makes the game really easy and puts that defense in a situation where they're starting to get tired. They want to sub. They want to get other guys on the field. Stringing first downs together like this makes it hard to defend.
Rides the back and leaves it on the option. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
Run game is good. Balance is good. Now, listen, if the run game isn't good, then you got to pass the football a little bit more. But sometimes you got to keep them honest, take them chunk by chunk.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Gives it on the option. His junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime. From the 36, a 3rd down, and you wonder if they're willing to take 2 plays to get the first. From the gun, wants to pass. That's caught. It's Smith. They are on the move as they pick up the 1st down. They'll spot it at the 28.
Another 1st down. Man, this defense couldn't stop a nosebleed right now. It's that bad.
Florida Atlantic goes to work with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on 1st down. Caught in the backfield, it's Sands. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5. You know, sometimes even a short gain like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
Now the play fake. It's complete. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. The Owls come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. Ball is at the 20. They'll try to convert this 3rd and short. They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. And he gets it inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 9 where it'll be 1st and goal. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. Florida Atlantic comes to the line on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. They need 7 more yards to reach the end zone. It's 2nd and goal. Wideout trying to get it in. He's all the way down to the 2-yard line. Just spectacular execution there.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You got to be aggressive, and you got to make tackles.
Wants to fire it in the end zone on 3rd and goal. Looking for the score. Right through his hands. He had a touchdown and just didn't look the ball in. It'll be 4th down.
And look at the quarterback, look at the players on offense. They're overlooking at the sidelines, begging to stay on the field and try and score this touchdown. They've been on the field for so many plays, for so long. When you've done all that work, you want to capitalize and you want to score a touchdown. You don't want to be kicking a field goal at this point.
And it's no good. Guys, a missed opportunity there. The lead is still 3.
And that's frustrating. I mean, you put a drive together, you're in scoring zone. Like, this is a green zone. You should be making all of these kicks, these short field goals, the chip shots. Kickers have to come through. They got to do their job.
Got it behind the line. It's Ray. He breaks a tackle.
And this offense, I think, will do a good job in this game divvying up the football and distributing it to different guys in the passing game. It won't just be receivers. It's not going to be tight ends. This running back, he's a weapon, too, after he catches it. You saw it right there.
Clock still running. Almost certainly the last play of the half. Martin back to pass. Under fire. That's caught. It's Webb. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A first half that saw a little bit of everything there in College Park. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. And with that, let's send it back to the guys inside the shell.
Florida Atlantic about to boot it away and get this second half underway. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long, different ways to affect him, weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Off play action. Fires to the wideout. Complete downfield. There he goes. They'll move the chains after he gets it to the 43-yard line.
When you play zone and you drop back, you're dropping back to a spot, and that means there's going to be holes, and the quarterback has to do a good job of reading it, seeing it, throwing it between those holes. He does a really nice job there, makes the defense pay for playing zone coverage.
Grab near the sticks. It's Smith. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down. The Terrapins come to the line with a new set of downs. Martin will throw it. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
The play action fake. Catch in the middle. It's Webb. Stopped just inside the 30 at the 29. It's a 10-yard pickup and a first down.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This offense had so much success in that first half, so in the third quarter, they come out, and the quarterback looks like he's still dealing. This has been a really nice drive. That was a really nice throw. Just keep doing what you're doing if you're on offense.
Here's the handoff. Got room to work. Wide open spaces. What a run. Takes it all the way down to the 11-yard line before he's forced out.
You're down. Obviously, at the half, you had a conversation. We got to come out and put points on the board. And, Jesse, it looks like they're going to start with the ground game.
And I love this, David, too. Regardless of whether they're losing or they're winning, come out here and try to be the most physical unit here in the second half. Get this run game established.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
And the big tight end, a lot of times that's a bigger strike zone, a bigger dude, and you can tell they put the hit on him, and that ball came out, and it came to the turf. Nice job playing physical by this defense.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Catch in the middle, it's Webb. He kept him out of the end zone, but it'll be first and goal from the 1-yard line.
And the offense here dialed up a really good zone beater. Give credit to the offensive coordinator. He called the right play at the right time.
And the Terrapins trying to get a touchdown on first and goal. Trying to surge it in. And this offense hoped to just run it in, and the defense was having none of it. No gain. Ball remains at the 2.
Well, and you see the sense of urgency now going up, right, David, on defense here, creating a negative play with their backs up against the wall.
Everybody's selling out to stop the run. Nice job being aggressive by this defense.
On 2nd and goal, they go right back to him. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Man, and that's a frustrating play when you go in reverse near the goal line, goal-to-go situations, Palmer. You got to get those positive yards. You can't go backwards if you're trying to get a touchdown.
You know, I'm trusting in my quarterback here to make the right decision. Looks like we're going to have to throw it, right? But if it's not open, just throw this thing away. You don't want to take a sack, lose extra yardage here. Just be smart with the football. Man, if I'm quarterback right now, after this long of a drive down this close, I'm going for a touchdown here, Paul.
And I get that, but I've worn this defense out, man. I'm going to go for the touchdown right here. And if I miss, they got to go the whole length of the field to score a touchdown.
Barges ahead. Will not get there. A 4th down stop. And the Owls are backed up. They can feel the shadow of their own goalpost and trying to create some room. Handoff to the lone back. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, on offense, this is a tough place to run the football. Back in your own end, the defense is expecting you to do it, and that's why they're loading the box. This is a great opportunity to take a shot down the sideline to your best wide receiver in a one-on-one situation.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Grab behind the line. It's Messer. Powers through. If you're going to run that play, you have to get it out of the end zone there. They'll take the safety.
Oh, and how about this defense? Understanding where they are in the field. They got a chance to put points on the board, and they do.
After giving up the safety, they'll have to kick it away. Slithers into space. First play of this drive comes from the 35-yard line. Rides the back and leaves it. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40.
It's a nice game, but the big theme here is they just haven't been able to get the run game going on offense. They've been very one-dimensional, and they're just not being physical enough at the point of attack.
Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. On the run, it's Ray. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
All right, guys, so Florida Atlantic has the lead. 3 quarters are in the books. Time becomes a factor both in trying to hold the lead or cut into it as we take a look at the stats. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. After swapping ends of the field, that gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on 3rd down. Can't get him to the ground. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
And listen, the offensive line has to do their job, but a really good job by the running back, understanding where his hole is. Go hit it, get the 1st down, don't mess around. Nice job following his hole, getting positive yards.
The Terrapins will line it up on 1st and 10. Handoff to the lone back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
Great job by the offense. Listen, if the defense is going to sit back in zone, you know what you got to do. Run those crossers across the formation. Those guys that are looking at the quarterback, they're not trying to pick up receivers all the time. Make those precise throws, right in those holes, get those first downs, get those big chunks.
From the gun, running back on the move. There he goes. They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays.
And I think that's what you want to see from this offense down the stretch. Like, can you physically dominate the game? You've got the lead. Now run the football, eat clock, continue to feed your dude.
And the Terrapins back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Looking to pass inside the red zone. Quick strike complete. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. Operating in the red zone here on second down. He'll pull it on the read. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues.
You know, this offensive line, they just got to hold their blocks a little bit longer. This offense likes to run their quarterback on design plays. And if you can just give him a little crease, he can take it the distance, but they couldn't get it done there.
The Terrapins come to the line on third and short, trying to convert here. It's complete to the left. He's run out of bounds, but they've got it now first and goal.
And that's a really good example of a quarterback and his intended target both being on the same page. The timing was almost perfect on that play. That's why they were able to convert the third down, now setting up first and goal.
Already in prime field goal position, but they would love to score a touchdown to take the lead. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own and unfortunately ended up losing yards.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and time is of the essence for this offense to get things done. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Martin back to pass. Here's a heat. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. And they're not quite in rhythm there. It's incomplete.
Well, this situation in the game, trailing with not a lot of time left, I understand going to the sideline to try and save clock, but you've got 3 timeouts in your back pocket. Don't be afraid to use those. You can attack the middle of the field, use the timeouts to save the clock that way.
They're going to throw it on third and goal. Touchdown, Maryland! They move on top here in the fourth.
Critical juncture of the game late, and you're trying to find your best one-on-one matchup to take advantage of. Of course, it's the tight end. With his size, his wingspan, and his athleticism, really good decision by the quarterback at a crucial juncture in this game.
Setting up for the PAT, and when it gets this late, every point matters. The extra point is good, and it's important. The lead is a touchdown now at 6. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they close the deal with the 7-yarder for the score. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. Looking downfield on first down. Makes the catch. It's Sands. A little more space. Open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play, trying to preserve every minute possible. They'll snap this one from the 30 on 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on first down. And he can't find any They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
The Owls now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Sands. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
And I think the defense doing a really good job of understanding this is late in the game. It matters. Taking away the sidelines, taking away the middle of the field, making him kind of check the football down, go through his progressions, and make that clock tick.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. It's caught. The offense gets a quick timeout at this point. Every second is precious. Florida Atlantic will go to work with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. He's got it. Slips a tackle and he's got room. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
Well, this offense has shown you it doesn't take a lot of time for them to generate explosive plays through the air. Big completion on the previous play. They take another shot and hit it, and they have completely flipped the field.
And the Owls, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. Quickly complete. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be second and inches coming up. We've got a timeout on the field, a tight game in the fourth, and the Brain Trust will go to work. The inside handoff. They'll wrestle him down at the 4-yard line after that run.
And that's a good second down run. Commit to the running game, run the football. Great gain, great job by the offensive line. Keep it rolling.
And this is almost certainly 4-down territory, down 6, and needing a touchdown in the point after to take the lead. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown Owls. Fired in from the red zone for the score.
Well, you can't do it better than that, guys. Getting the touchdown with just seconds to go, the extra point will now give them the lead. Maybe time for a kickoff and one more play. They can just hang on for 2 more plays after this extra point. They're going to win this game.
Big extra point coming. It would give them the lead late. Clock is stopped. Timeout used by the defense. 14 seconds left. A huge point after this for the lead. And it's good. They're on top, and they'll try to hang on in the waning seconds. So a drive there of 85 yards. And they cap the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. Martin will throw it. Got his man on the right. They get the timeout call with 7 seconds left on the clock. Remember, all they have to do is get it close enough for a field goal here. Wants to fire on second down. Quickly out to the tight end. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down.
And that's a first down.
Got to move quickly here. They need to get it to field goal range. To the air on first down. He wants a big play here late. What a catch and what a throw along the sideline. Just sings it in there. A little Baryshnikov for the toe tap.